Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Butt Fumble Sports Daily Show on this Friday afternoon, the last Friday of the 2023 NFL season. We are just less than 48 hours away from Super Bowl 58 kicking off. I hope you're excited about the weekend ahead. We obviously have games tonight across college basketball, the NHL, and of course the NBA. And we count down to Super Bowl Sunday, which is finally on the horizon. We've got past Media Week, and we've obviously gotten our player prop bets out last night in our subscriber-only show. So now it is just focusing on the bets that you want to talk about for the big game. We'll get to some picks tonight. Again, NHL, NBA, college basketball. We're going to give out picks every 1,000 likes, a player prop bet every 1,000 likes, a game pick every 2,000 likes. We'll give out picks there, but we'll also be answering your questions. So throw them in. Make sure you guys are getting your questions in now because it's the final NFL Sunday of the season ahead of us. If you're new to Butt Fumble Sports, this is a sports content company created by a sports fan for you real sports fans at home. We rant about what's going on in the sports world. We talk about sports betting, doing some research using the Outlier app, and we talk fantasy sports as well. Make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe, no matter the platform you're watching on. TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Love having you guys with us every single day. As mentioned, we use the Outlier app to go through every bet that we see across the sports world to find the best bets for you. We focus on trends, data, analytics, and matchups to look at the variables that will obviously give us the best indication how you guys should be betting every single day. If you want a 7-day free trial for the Outlier app, make sure you hit us up on Instagram. More than happy to give that out. As said, we will give out some picks throughout the show. If you have questions, fire away with them. Great to have you guys with us. User 1009, thanks for the kind words. Great to have you with us in today's show. Again, if you have a question about today's action, if there's a bet you want to focus on, make sure you throw it in there. If there's a topic you want to rant about, like Julian, thoughts on the Green Bay Packers. Do you think they could be Super Bowl contenders next year, and why? Absolutely. I actually think that the Green Bay Packers are building a Chiefs-like model. They have a young quarterback who's incredibly athletic, big arm, and will obviously be the focal point of their offense, but they're also very young on the defensive side of the ball. I think the Green Bay Packers are a team to look out for over the next few years, especially because with Jordan Love on whatever contract he does sign moving forward, it's still going to allow them to build around him. They have young weapons on the offense. I think the Green Bay Packers are actually in a great position. The only issue with the Green Bay Packers are the Detroit Lions are going nowhere. So there's going to be a time where that division is absolutely up for grabs. Look out for the Bears, depending on how Caleb Williams does. But a lot of reasons to believe that the Green Bay Packers have once again pulled it off, going from one great quarterback into the era that should at least be sustainable when it comes to being a wild card division champion contender. Danny, Debo and Kittle's over 50 yards. Combined, yes. If you're talking about individually, I don't know about Debo Samuel, at least in the passing game. I sure like Kittle a whole lot more, Danny. Dogecoin, I took the over on the Super Bowl, probably a mistake. I'm taking the under. For those that are watching the show, we've been giving out these picks throughout the week. I am taking the Chiefs plus 4.5. I'm taking the 49ers on the money line, and I'm taking Chiefs 49ers under 50.5. If that line moves a little bit, if there's enough money on the over and that shifts up, I'd like to get it at 52.5. That would be the perfect spot, but I'm taking it at 50.5 as of right now. User 1009, ask about the Sacramento Kings on the money line. Good question. I'm not necessarily taking them on the money line. That wasn't actually the place I went with the bet. When we hit our 2,000 likes, we'll give out our first game pick of the day, our first player prop bet at 1,000 likes. Kings on the money line, could they win? I could see it, but it's not the bets I'm going to be going with. I'll give those out in a little bit. Do you like Debo rushing yards or over attempts? I like the over on attempts a little bit more. I think, again, the way that Kyle Shanahan's going to approach this game is get his guys with the ball open in space. My only concern about the rushing yards is, will they use him in screen passes or will they use him in running plays? I think he's going to go over 2.5 rushing attempts, maybe over 3.5. I like the 2.5 obviously more, but I do think that's a good play, Drew. User 1009, Pelicans minus 2.5. The Lakers have been very good, as it turns out, against the spread on a back-to-back when they're at home. Something I caught a little bit earlier today. Now, that said, I do like the Pelicans tonight. We'll talk about that as well. In fact, I'll give that out as you guys are tapping that screen. This will be our first pick of the night, giving it out as you guys do that. We'll give out a player prop bet at 1,000 likes. But just to kick things off, we're taking the Pelicans on the money line, guys. Pelicans on the money line. That will be the first bet we're giving out. But it's not the only bet we're giving out about this game. We're going to talk about the total as well, because there's something we like there. Now we're getting to 1,000 likes. So let's give out our first player prop bet of the game to say thank you for you guys tapping that screen. Our first player prop bet of the game is going to come from that one as well. I'm taking Brandon Ingram over 19.5 points. Obviously, Brandon Ingram, the former Laker, returning to Staples Center, Crypto.com Arena. I think he's going to get over 19.5 points in that one. Elite Detail. Hope you're having a great day in Rochester, New York. It's been a nice day so far in the Empire State. Ryan, Rice over 6.5 receptions. Ooh, that seems a little bit high for me. I tend to not like it at 6.5. Let's take a quick look at that one. I'm more than happy to look it up. If you guys do have questions, that's why we're here. We don't charge for any of our bets. We love doing research for you guys to help you guys out. But if there are also topics you want us to rant about, if there's something going on in the sports world that has your attention, throw it in the comment section because we love talking about it. Over 6.5 receptions has not been a great bet in the last, let's say, 5 weeks of the season. It has hit in 2 playoff games against the Dolphins and against the Baltimore Ravens. Maybe you think when they've had good conditions, this has been a decent game, but really I'm not crazy about it. Let's take a look at it. If we shift it to 5.5, what's it being offered at? It's being offered at 198 at 5.5. That's been a slightly better trend, not by much though. Wow. If I had to lean in any direction, now having seen it, I think he could get to 6 catches. Given that the 49ers will try to focus on taking away Travis Kelce, Rashee Rice may get a lot of those extra receptions and targets. So Ryan Chin, I'm kind of on the fence on this one. Everything's kind of pointing towards it being a decent play. Just feels like a really high total. I'd rather have it at the 5.5. It opened at 7.5. Interesting that it opened that high. So just seems a little crazy to me. But the matchup actually favors it. The trend favors it. That's a tricky one right there. Sorry I can't give better advice on it, Ryan, but that's a bit of a hard one to pick. We have hit 2,000 likes, so let's give out another NBA game pick. Someone asked about this one a little bit earlier in the show. I am taking the Nuggets at +5. Nuggets +5. If you could take them at Nuggets +5.5, that would be the ideal spot to take it because I want that hook in my favor. But I think that they'll still cover by 5 or at least have it as a push. I think the Nuggets will actually keep this a pretty close game. So I think the Kings could end up winning, but I'm not putting any money on that. I'd rather take the Nuggets +5. We'll give out another player prop bet when we hit 3,000 likes. The Cooper movie, Am I Crazy? I think Derrick Henry would be great as a Giant. I don't think so. I think Derrick Henry needs to go to a win-now team. I also think that the way Daniel Jones operates, the run-pass option with him is a little bit different. We saw it. Could Derrick Henry and him work? Yeah, Tannehill and him work. Well, I actually think it's better for Derrick Henry to go, frankly, to like a Dallas Cowboys, to a Baltimore Ravens, a team that maybe could use a little bit of an extra physicality, an extra punch in the running game. But I don't think that's a good matchup, the Cooper movie. Ty the guy, Celtics -16.5. I'm not touching the line on that one. I will give out a pick for that game. In fact, we've hit 3,000 likes, so instead of the player prop bet, let me give out a pick for this one, Ty the guy. I'm taking Wizards, Celtics. The spot I'm actually taking this one is under 242.5. I'm taking Wizards, Celtics under 242.5. That's where I'm going in this game. So there are a couple players who have been ruled out across some of these games. I'm curious to know. Let's see. I saw earlier that Jason Tatum had an illness. Will he be out? Jason Tatum still a game time decision. I think this easily could be a big score for the Celtics. They haven't been great at home lately covering the spread, so that's why I'm not taking the spread. Of course, I am taking Celtics on the money line. That doesn't seem like a hard one to pick. That's an obvious one. They're getting it at obvious odds. Sprinkle into some parlays if you just want another pillar. But that said, Wizards Celtics under 242.5. That's the pick I really like out of this game. Drew, you're saying Zion is being ruled out. I haven't seen that quite yet. Let's jump on over to that game. One of the things I like about the Outlier app is I can quickly see who's ruled out. I'm seeing Zion is a game time decision. At least that's what I'm seeing as of right now. You may have seen it on X, Twitter, and maybe that's giving you a better indication. Either way, I actually really like my Brandon Ingram pick then. When we hit 4,000 likes, I will give out an NHL pick and a player prop bet for you. Julian, LeBron over 24. I didn't end up taking that. I'm not leaning towards LeBron James tonight just because the second night of a back-to-back, not a huge play for me. Let's quickly look at points for you. Against the small forward position, the New Orleans Pelicans are the #1 ranked defense at preventing points. That's against the small forward position. So LeBron James has a tough matchup. He's only gone over the 25.5. You're asking about 24. Let me bring that down then. Let's see it at over 23.5. That's been a very good trend. Man, that's been where he's really breaking. At 23, 24 points, that's really where the market has been consistently. Tough matchup tonight. Man, this is a tough call. At home, it's been a decent trend. 13 of the last 20. He's done it in 6 consecutive games. He's only done it in 2 of the last 3 games at home against the Pelicans. If I had to go in any direction, I'd actually raise the ceiling on this one and I'd take the under. I would take under 27.5 points. If I could go in any direction on this one, I actually think that's the best bet. I'm going to put this one up on my big board, having some fun, taking an under 27.5 for LeBron James. That's going to be an in-show bet. I'm just seeing, based on the matchup and based on the trend, I'm going to go under 27.5. That's been very strong over the last few weeks, and obviously the matchup against the Pelicans is not favorable for him. Second night of a back-to-back. Interesting take. Anthony, I'm not taking Nuggets on the money line, but I am taking them to cover. I bought an extra couple of points, though. Lauren, Scotty Barnes, more than 24.5 points. Let's take a look at that one for Lauren, and let's see if it's a good bet. Appreciate you guys being with us. If you're new to Butt Fumble Sports, make sure you hit that follow button. That way you never miss our show. We are live every single day across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, giving out sports betting advice, doing research for you guys, talking fantasy sports, and of course, just talking about as well what's going on in the sports world. So Scotty Barnes hasn't been consistently. You're seeing at 24.5. That seems very high. That's buying it up even from where it is right now. He doesn't have a great matchup. I don't think that's a very good play. Scotty Barnes more than 24.5 points seems very ambitious. Tough matchup, and he hasn't hit it consistently. Ranger, thanks so much for helping us out with our live goal of a galaxy. Ranger, if there's something you want us to check, make sure you let us know. I absolutely appreciate you helping us out and supporting the show the way that you do. We'll set a new live goal in just a moment. Let's give out some picks to say thank you to Ranger for being so supportive. Let's give out some NHL picks. So here are our NHL picks for the game of the day. I'm taking the Penguins on the money line, everybody. Penguins on the money line against the Wild. It's just been a very good trend. So I'm taking Penguins money line. I'm also taking the Blackhawks plus 1.5. Blackhawks are a home dog, and they have been actually staying within that 1-goal margin, either winning or losing consistently. So I'm going to take the Blackhawks plus 1.5. I'll give out my last NHL pick. There are 3 games. I do have 3 picks for tonight. It's Oilers, it's Ducks. The Oilers win streak is over. I actually think that might be a good thing. Let's just get it out of the way. Now let's get back to winning after that 1 loss. I think they're going to win tonight on the road against the Ducks and continue to just cruise up the Western Conference standings. With that said, let's get a NBA player prop bet out there as well to say thank you to Ranger. One more let's go to the Milwaukee Bucks game. Hornets at the Bucks. I'm taking Brook Lopez over 11.5 points. I also took a same game parlay where I took the Hornets plus 18.5 as well as Brook Lopez over 11.5 points. Kind of an interesting one. We'll throw this pick up there as well. Hornets plus 18.5. Just feel like that's a good margin. Ranger, Dayton VCU. I actually didn't go in on this one. There aren't too many college basketball games on the docket today. Just to give an indication of how many there actually are, there are 3 that we're seeing up on the board. Dayton VCU, San Diego State Nevada, San Jose State Colorado State. Just to look at how the public is betting this and how the sharp money is betting this, Dayton is the favorite in terms of percentage of money and percentage of tickets on both the money line and on the spread. Personally, this game doesn't get me excited. A 2-point spread on this, if I had to go in any direction, I'd probably take Dayton on the money line, but it's not a game I know enough about, Rangers, so just not one for me. Diego's asking about C.J. McCollum over 3.5 rebounds. Let's go take a look at that one. Appreciate you guys being with us. Make sure you hit that like button. We've hit 5,000 likes. We'll give out another player prop bet in just one moment. But first, we're going to look at rebounds over here for Diego. C.J. McCollum over 4.5 rebounds. You're getting it at 3.5. Smart move. It's going off there at -119. Certainly like that more. How's the matchup on this one? It's okay. The Lakers are the 17th ranked defense in terms of rebounds allowed to the small forward position. This has been a very consistent spot at the 3.5 that you're taking. 8 out of the last 10 games. We certainly like to see that. When it comes to road games, a little less consistent. 6 out of the last 10, but it's hitting 3 straight games. Over the last 20 road games, 12 of the last 20. That's good. 14 of the last 20 overall. Head-to-head against the Lakers, this is hit in 4 of the last 6 meetings, 3 of the last 4 overall. I think this is a good find, Diego. I actually might endorse this one as well. I really like C.J. McCollum. Think it's a good find. I'll put this one up on my board. C.J. McCollum over 3.5 rebounds. Nice find there. Really good one. Lauren's asking about Jalen Green when it comes to assists. We're going to get to that one in just one second. But before we do, I want to give out a player prop bet to say thank you to you guys for tapping that screen and getting us to 5,000 likes. Next player prop bet I'm going to give out is going to be from that Celtics game. I'm going to take Jaylen Brown over 19.5 points. I just think Jaylen Brown could have a really good game if Jason Tatum's illness either keeps him from playing or limits his overall playing time. Jaylen Brown should get, obviously, a majority of the extra touches, and he has got a great matchup. The Wizards are a bottom 10 defense against the small forward position. So Jaylen Brown over 19.5 points, putting that into some same-game parlays or some player prop bet parlays might be a nice leg to add to your player prop bets. So with that said, let's get back to Lauren's question about 5.5 assists. For all those watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, we're using the Outlier app, which is a sports betting research tool that allows me to quickly search across different sports books for the best bets, best trends, and everything that we need every day. Right now, I'm seeing Jalen Green more, it's set at 3.5. So, Lauren, I want to make sure you're getting good lines. Maybe you're buying these up because you feel like they're good bets. Just be careful about that. Let's look at how they do against shooting guards. They're the 15th best defense in the league. This is the Toronto Raptors. They're the 15th best defense in the league at assists allowed. How has this been as a trend? 6 out of the last 10, 9 out of the last 20. I don't think this is one I like. I'd probably avoid this one, Lauren. Not a bet that we would be taking. JT's letting us know Jason Tatum is playing tonight. Good to know. Cruel Finisher. Thoughts on Hawks on the money line? Cruel Finisher. I like the Hawks on the money line. I do think that's a good play. We're giving that out because we've hit 7,000 likes. You guys are awesome. I am taking the Hawks on the money line. That's actually been a very good trend when the Hawks are a road favorite against the 76ers. That's been a very, very good trend. Carter22 is asking about Patrick Mahomes, Brock Purdy rush yards. I think both of those could be good bets. If I were to take one of them, I prefer Patrick Mahomes' rushing yards, though. De'Aaron Fox, over 3.5 assists. Love this play. Odds aren't great, but paired with something gets you on the right side of it. Ian, really interesting take. I think that's actually a good play. I'm not crazy about him on points, but I do like it on assists. Carter22, I like your Sadiq Bey play. Think that's a very, very good one. Appreciate with you guys being with us tonight. It is just wonderful having you guys across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. No matter the platform you're watching on, make sure you hit us up. Write your questions, write your comments, and if any of you want to join the show as a guest, hit us up live on the show. You can come on, talk about what's going on in the sports world. If there's something that you care about and you want to get our take, or if there's a question that you want to ask live on the show, feel free. We love talking to you guys every single day. Makes the show go by real fast as well, as gives us an indication of what you guys are thinking about, what's getting your attention across this wide world of sports. Sadiq Bey, that is a play that we like today. Sadiq Bey is a really good one. There is one play I like the most out of Sadiq Bey. While I thought about his points, it's his rebounds that I like the most. Let me show that to you as to why I really like Sadiq Bey on rebounds. Set right now at 6. I bought this at 5.5. You can get it at -155 if you're taking it at 5.5. That's where it opened. The line has continued to move up and kind of shift between 6, 6.5. There's a reason for that. This has just been very consistent. It's hit in 7 of the last 9 games. Hasn't been a great trend over the last 3, but it had been very consistent prior to that. On the road, it's hit in 4 of the last 5. 8 of the last 10. If we look at it from an even longer standpoint, 15 of the last 20. These are the kind of trends that we want to see in terms of head-to-head matchups. 3 straight games against the 76ers this is hit. This is one of my favorite bets of the day, frankly. I am going to say this is one of my favorite player prop bets. This is Sadiq Bey over 5.5 rebounds. And again, you can get that at a really good spot. Maybe you want to do a same-game parlay. Hawks on the money line, Sadiq Bey over 5.5 rebounds. Or if you feel like you want to take the other side of it, if you want to take the 76ers at like a +8.5, maybe even a +10.5, and then pair it with Sadiq Bey over 5.5 rebounds, it's not a bad bet to actually make tonight. Domantas Sabonis rebounds, 2 centers that rebound well. Steven, that is an interesting take. I like Nikola Jokic more on the rebounds. Where I like Sabonis is, I think I like him on points. Let me show it to you over here on the Outlier app. We're going to quickly look at Domantas Sabonis on points and show you where there's a good spot to take it. Over 19.5 hasn't been a great trend, but if you can get it under that 17 mark, it's been a really good play. If you can get it at 16.5, that's really been the sweet spot of this bet. Over the course of the last 20 games, it's hit in 15 of the last 20. The Denver Nuggets are the 21st ranked defense when it comes to points allowed to centers. It's just been a very good trend. Thank you so much, Ranger. Head-to-head, how has this been as a trend? 2 of the last 3 games this has hit. Both games played at home in Sacramento. He's gone over this total. I really like this bet. Again, it's at -240. Some of you guys won't like that. But if you do it with the same game parlay, if you pair it with one other player prop bet, I feel like it's a really good play. I'm going to put this one up on my big board as well. Another one of these bets that I really like, Domantas Sabonis over 16.5 points. I feel like that's a really good spot to take it. And make sure you're on the other side of that 17. 17 seems to be where the market kind of settles at for him over the course of the last few weeks, especially when he has the kind of competition he'll have tonight. Appreciate you guys being with us across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. If you have a question, fire away. If there's a topic you want to cover, make sure you throw it in the comment section. If you want to join the show as a guest, watching on TikTok, hit us up. Love having you come on as a guest to talk some sports with us. Brandon Miller, under 8 rebounds and assists. Let's take a look at that for Drew and see how we feel about that one. We're looking at rebounds and assists for Brandon Miller. He's going up against the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. Over-under set at 7.5. Let's take a look at it at 8. It opened at 8, and it's been shifting between 8 and 7.5. How's the matchup on this one? Against the small forward position, the Bucks are 15th against rebounds, 16th when it comes to assists. Interesting. You can take this under at 8.5. I feel like that's the best spot on that one, Drew. Under 8.5. Make sure you have that hook in your favor. Do we think he's getting a 9? That feels like a really high total for him. But the 8, I feel like he could hit. I like the 8.5. Get that hook in your favor if you can. It's been a really good play. It's missed in 8 of the last 10. If we look in road games, 8 of the last 10. Over the last 20 road games, this has only hit 3 times. I actually think this is a phenomenal find by you. Wow, Brandon Miller under 8.5 rebounds and assists. Let's put that one up on our big board as well. We did not have that prior to the show. A great find by Drew, 73-82. Brandon Miller under 8.5 rebounds plus assists. When you guys do your research, we always get pumped up because just like us, we're looking for the best bets, or just like you, we're looking for the best bets every day. Drew, great find, great research. Just make sure you get that hook in your favor. Jalen, Colorado State, I'm not going to bet that game. I'm not going to bet college basketball tonight. Didn't like there are only 3 games. I'm just not crazy about what I'm seeing on the board. But we could certainly look at it for you. San Jose State, Colorado State. If I had to go in any direction towards the over-under, let's take a dive into it really quick. Let's look at it from an over perspective. Man, these two offenses. Colorado State has a good offense. That's a tough one for me. Jalen, I would probably want to buy it down, as in get this at 143.5. Get those extra couple of points in your favor if you're going to do it. I feel like 146 is a really flat number. Polo's asking about DeJounte Murray on rebounds and assists. Let's go take a look at that player prop bet. Appreciate you guys being with us. We're going to give out our SHARPZ play of the day now that we've hit 10,000 likes. But before we do, we will cover Polo's question about DeJounte Murray, rebounds, and assists. You're asking about 10. Is there an over or an under side that you care about when it comes to that? Let us know, Polo. Over, under, is there a side you care about? You care about the over. So let's look at it over 9.5. Let's look at it over 9.5. Let's say he gets to 10. This opened at 10.5. It's since shifted down to 9.5. Man, this is what we call a lawn, everybody. If you're watching this on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, or Kick, you could see up on my screen, I guess not on TikTok, forgive me. You could see on my screen a lot of green up on my screen. Man, in road games though, oh wow, very interesting. This is only hit in 5 of the last 10 road games. Not as good a play. It's only hit in 9 of the last 20 road games. Very interesting. Now the head-to-head matchups, it has hit 3 straight times on the road in Philly. How about overall against Philly? Wow, interesting. Man, I am on the fence on this one. Let's quickly look at how they've done against point guards. 15th when it comes to rebounds, 11th when it comes to assists. Man, that's close. That's really close. He hasn't been great with it on the road. It's been a really good trend, though, over the last 10 games. I'll give it the endorsement. I'll say go with it at 9.5. But wow, the fact that it hasn't been as great a play on the road as it has been at home just has me a little bit cautious there. Mr. Boomin, how you feeling tonight? I wouldn't take Hawks -3. I would take Hawks on the money line. As for the Oilers, if you wanted to take them -1.5, I get it. I certainly like them on the money line. You may consider them going for it. Certainly a lead of a goal and a 2-goal lead going into the third period. I could see happening. The question is, will they give up a late goal? In that 6-man point of the game, the last 5 minutes. Okay, folks, it is time for our SHARPZ play of the day. You guys have been tapping that screen, doing a great job supporting the show. So it's time to give out our favorite bet of the day, our SHARPZ play of the day. That's our favorite bet of the day, regardless of the sport, regardless of the type of bet, regardless of the odds. It's the bet that we have the most confidence in. So we're going to give out that pick right now. Appreciate you guys being with us. Here is our SHARPZ play of the day, everybody. And it's going to come from this Lakers-Pelicans game. We are taking Pelicans, Lakers, under 239.5. Pelicans, Lakers, under 239.5 for that game. That is our SHARPZ play of the day, everybody. Our Sharps play of the day. That's our favorite bet of the day, regardless of the sport, regardless of the type of bet. If you want every bet that we make every single day, make sure that you DM me on Instagram, Butt Sports on Instagram, to get every bet that we make every single day. They're available for free every single day. Doesn't matter what type of sport, doesn't matter where I bet it. Every bet I make every day shows up on the SHARPZ app so you guys can see them. There's never a paywall. They're never hidden. They're never deleted. Why? Because I want you guys to make money. You're just a sports fan just like me. I want you guys to be able to get the most out of your sports betting experience. Whether you follow me or fade me, that's up to you. But at least you know the bets I'm going with every single day. So make sure you DM me on Instagram and you can get access to that SHARPZ app every single day with my picks every day. Again, my pick of the day, Sharps play of the day, is Pelicans-Lakers under 239.5. Let's get back to answering some of your questions, folks. Painted Beard, Vegas wants Niners, 80% of the bets on the Chiefs. Painted Beard, that's exact. Painted Beard, Carlos Boozer, first of all, hilarious handle. Absolutely love that. Carlos Boozer, I'm going with the 49ers for just that reason. For all of those who have been watching the show throughout the week, you guys know my Super Bowl picks are Chiefs plus 4.5, 49ers on the money line, Chiefs 49ers under 50.5. One thing I actually wanted to note, a lot of you guys have been asking me, why do you think the 49ers are a favorite? Here's what I think happened, just to talk one quick second about how I think the sportsbooks operate. There was a lot of money placed throughout the season on the 49ers as a futures bet to win the Super Bowl. Because of that, Vegas was put in an awkward position where they had a lot of risk. So, with the 49ers actually in the Super Bowl, as of 2 weeks ago, the sportsbook was trying to get rid of some of that risk by making the Chiefs a very advantageous bet. That way, if more money came down the 49ers, it wouldn't even be worse if they actually had to pay out. Well, now we've hit that breaking point where it's gone in the other direction. So much money has come down now, or so many bets have come down on the Kansas City Chiefs that now the 49ers are actually the bet that Vegas wants to cash. So that's one of the reasons I'm taking 49ers on the money line. So many people are saying Chiefs. Everybody. Your dog walker, your barber, your best friend, your coworker, that guy in your group chat who actually knows nothing about sports but is still in your group chat, even that guy's taking the Chiefs. When the world is all thinking one thing, the sports books usually make some good money when the opposite happens. I like the Chiefs to cover the plus 4.5. I'm also putting a lot of teasers together, same game parlays with Chiefs plus 7 or Chiefs plus 10 with some things I think could happen like a Pacheco touchdown, Rashee Rice touchdown, things like that. With that said, I still think that the 49ers win this game, and I do think that it's a close one. 49ers win in a lower scoring game under 50.5. Ramirez Job, Celtics on the money line, check. Pelicans on the money line, check. Bucks on the money line, like that one as well. Ramirez Job, that's a really good 3-leg parlay. Very safe, but also I think really good bets. Nice finds by you. Dayton money line, Nevada money line, Colorado State money line. There you go. I'm not betting college basketball tonight. Just wasn't interested in the matchups. Didn't get me going. User 8804. I put my bets on the SHARPZ app every day. How it works is when you're on the SHARPZ app, you can connect to your sports book. So when you make a bet, it automatically shows up there. So anyone who follows you or looks at your profile can see them. A lot of transparency. That's what I love about it. You guys can see every bet I make. You can comment on them, follow them, fade them, whatever you want to do. But that way you see my bets. I don't want to put them behind a paywall. I was approached by some of these other companies out there that I'm sure some of the other accounts you see, they're sponsored by, but they're forcing you guys to put it behind a paywall, or worse, some of these guys are making you subscribe to that. I'm not. I sometimes have you, I ask you guys to subscribe to our channels, of course, but I'm not going to charge you for my bets. I'm going to do this research. I'm going to give it out for free. Obviously, we're all on the same team hoping they cash, but it's up to you if you want to follow or fade them, but they'll always be accessible to you guys every single day. Ramirez Job is also taking Rangers money line and Oilers money line. There you go, Ramirez Job. I love how you gave those out. Scarface J, I don't like Lakers tonight. I like the Pelicans on the money line. I also really like the under. That's my SHARPZ play of the day. Pelicans, Lakers under 239.5. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are loving the show. It is so wonderful to talk sports with you guys every single day. Definitely highlight of my day. We do our research using Outlier, using killersports.com, pro basketball reference, profootballreference.com every single day to do our research. I can't wait for baseball to start. Pitchers and catchers officially reported today at spring training, which means baseball's right around the corner. We will be doing a lot of fantasy baseball coverage this year. We also do really well on our baseball bets. That's actually maybe my best sport overall. Funny enough, we do pretty well on football and basketball, and yet baseball is still probably my best sport, probably because it's the one that is most trend related. Great history between a pitcher and a catcher usually leads to some good betting. So with that said, I can't wait for this season to get started. I hope you guys are excited as well. We have a lot of great things coming, and of course, we are just a month away from the March Madness tournament. I could not be more excited about what we have. I know the Super Bowl means the end of football, single tier. Yeah, we miss it. I certainly miss fantasy football already. But that said, we've got a lot of things to look forward to in between the time between the Super Bowl and kickoff of the 2024 NFL season. So if you guys are looking for great content or a great place to hear where good content or great sports conversations being had, make sure you hit the follow button and make sure you join us every single day. We're live Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. on the weekends. Retro Dad, what's happening? Hope you're having a great day. Really appreciate the support you show us. Nico Rivera is asking about Jalen Johnson when it comes to points. Let's go do that player prop bet research for you right now. Again, we use Outlier to do all of our research. If you guys want a free 7-day trial to the Outlier app, DM me on Instagram. If you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, you guys can see how easy it is to look between trends, different bets, and different sports books. Jalen Johnson over 15.5 points. How has this been? It opened at 16.5. It's been a very good trend. How is it as a matchup? It's not a great matchup. The 76ers are the 8th best defense in the league when it comes to points allowed to the small forward position. He's hit this in 8 of his last 10 games, but in road games, this isn't a good trend. Only hit in 4 of the last 10. In the last 20 games on the road, 7 of the last 10 against the 76ers. It has hit the last 2 games, but both of those games were not in Philly. I don't like this one, Nico Rivera. If I had to go in any direction, I might go under 17.5 points, actually. It's not a bet I would make, but I like the under with the ceiling raised on it a little bit. Just hasn't been a good trend on the road. So that's where I come out on it. Appreciate you being with us. Hope you're enjoying the show. Can we get Outlier without the gram? User 88, I got to be able to give you that referral code, so you got to be able to hit me up somewhere. Jose's asking about tails on the coin toss. One thing I will say is I am not for the specialty player prop bets. That is not something I really do because there's no history on it. There's no trends on it. There's no data I can use to really deduce what is the best bet. And that's the whole thing we're doing here. That's the reason Butt Fumble Sports exists, is to be able to look at data, trends, analytics, matchups, and find the best bets for you. When there isn't that kind of data available, we tend to not take the bets, just how we operate. So, Jose, I'll say tails never fails, but I won't put any money on it myself. Mark, thoughts on Trae Young? Over 10 assists. Let's take a look at this one really quick. Jose, thanks so much for the money gun. So appreciate your support. Miss talking sports with you every day. If you ever get to 1,000 followers, and I don't mean that in any kind of way, if you ever do, hit us up. I'd love to talk sports with you. Live on the air would be a lot of fun. By the way, that goes for all of you. If you guys want to talk sports with us, we love doing it, so make sure you do. Trae Young, the assist is set at 10.5. That's been a very good trend over the last 10 games. Let's look at it on the road. Hasn't been great over the last 3. It was a hot play for a little while there. Yeah, it's cooled off. Head-to-head against the 76ers, it's hovered at that 10-11 mark. I really don't like this bet overall. If you bought it down, if you bought it at 9.5, I'd love it. If you could get Trae Young and just bet him to go over 9.5, that's where I would take this play. That's where I would feel a bit more confidence in it. 76ers are the 11th best defense when it comes to assists allowed. So overall, I'm not crazy about it, but if you bought it at 9.5, I'd like it more. 10, 10.5, not so much. 9.5, I would take it. JT, I like Denver at +5. That's what I took it at, but I think Denver can cover this game tonight. First time on here, how is this capper? Jay Will. So our betting percentage on individual bets ranges between 65 and 68%. When we include our round robins and our parlays, we hit at 57%. You can see that on the SHARPZ app. We give out our bets every single day for free. We never charge you for them. I base my bets on data, research, analytics, and matchups. What's my background? It's in sports content creation. I've worked at ESPN, Fox Sports, CBS Sports, and I've been a producer for Jim Rome, producing sports shows, sports betting shows, and fantasy sports shows. And in that time, I just learned a lot about data analytics and literally how to make some of these bets from some of the best in the industry. Then, in my own world, I just love quantitative analysis. Feel like a great crossover point. So I started this network, Butt Fumble Sports. One of the reasons we're called Butt Fumble Sports is you never want to tail someone too closely. If they don't know what they're doing, you can end up running right into their ass and fumbling the ball. So one of the things I always like to recommend is you take even our advice with a grain of caution. We want to give out the things that give out the best trends and trend-based information possible, but always be wary of it. Always try to think for yourself. If things kind of confirm your thinking, maybe that gives you a reason to bet. Otherwise, do what's comfortable for you. I always want you to feel like this is a safe place for you guys to learn a little bit, get good information, but never feel the pressure that you have to do something that you don't want to do. Maddie, man, I could see if I like Trae Young over on assists, I also do like him on a double-double because I certainly think he'll get to 10 points. Nurse, Raptors money line was a tough one for me. The Houston Rockets have been really bad on the road. And here's the reason I'm not betting that game though. The Raptors have a lot of lineup changes. Because of what they did at the trade deadline, I really haven't seen this team together. So I don't know who's playing. I don't know how they'll play together. Fred VanVleet is out for the Houston Rockets. I tend to think the Raptors win, but given that I don't know their roster well enough, I'm not going to make the bet. That's another sign of just because there's a really good trend doesn't mean I'm always going to take it. There has to be what I would consider like a constellation there, a series of different data points that all point in the right direction. If one of those is off or there aren't enough of them, I tend to just avoid it. I love to make money. I love to win. I don't want to chase something that's not there. So I think I like Raptors on the money line, but I didn't bet it myself. Just didn't feel good enough about it. We've hit 11,000 likes. I'm going to give out another player prop bet for you guys right now. When we hit 12,000 likes, I'm going to give out another game pick. I have one more game pick for you guys to give out. But first, let's get to a player prop bet. Speaking of that 76ers Hawks game in Philadelphia tonight, I'm taking Tobias Harris at over 19.5 points. Favorable matchup here. Tobias Harris over 19.5 points with no Joel Embiid. I think Tobias Harris continues to have added importance. Does Buddy Hield play? Whether he does or he doesn't, I still like Harris to reach 20 points tonight. We're almost to 12,000 likes. When we hit that, we'll give out our last game pick of the night. Kyle Klein is asking about Trae Young over half a steal. Haven't looked at any steal plays today. Let's take a quick look at that one. That's Trae Young over half a steal. Right now, the over-under has the over has a really strong implied probability. Man, we've got ourselves a lawn on this one. 9 of the last 10 games this has hit. How about on the road? Wow, even better. We have hit this in 7 straight games. This is cashed. 76ers are the 15th worst team in the league when it comes to steals allowed. Really interesting there. I would say Trae Young over half a steal is a really good play. Really good find there. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are loving the show. We are live every single day across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. It is so wonderful having you guys with us every single day. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you subscribe. That way you never miss a show. We are live Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Diego, I'm feeling that way too. One of the reasons we're giving out the picks that we are today is there are a lot of actual player prop bets that aren't available on the market for some reason. I think it has a lot to do with there are either games back-to-backs tonight and teams, sports books don't know who's going to be in the lineup and who's going to be resting. I also think the trade deadline impacted that as well yesterday. Who in the deals is going to be playing and who's not. So a lot of player prop bets are actually not available like they would be on a normal day. One of the reasons that we're giving out some of the bets that we took today that frankly aren't the ones that I was expecting to. I thought I would have a number of like favorites. Not as many favorites today, I would say. A lot of ones we like, but not as many favorites. Yesterday we had a lot of favorites. I don't know if you caught our Instagram account. We did really well yesterday. Steven is asking about Nikola Jokic over 27.5 points. Let's go on over to Outlier and take a quick look at that one for him. We're looking at points for Nikola Jokic, and you're saying you see it set at 27.5. The implied probability suggests the under is the better play. The Kings are the 6th best defense in the NBA when it comes to points allowed to centers. He hasn't been hitting the over 27.5 consistently over the last 5 games. He's only hit this once. It was at home. As a road trend, it has been decent over the last few weeks, but I don't love this bet right now. Man, I wouldn't touch this one. Frankly, I would either take the under. Let's see where I could get. I could get under 29.5, under 28.5. I feel like those are better plays. I just don't like this. Excuse me. I just don't like this bet, Steven. Doesn't feel like a good play for me, Steven. Again, second night of a back-to-back. Not a lot of good trends on it. Really quick, let's see how he's done head-to-head against the Sacramento Kings. It has hit in 2 straight games in Sacramento. Hard for me to read this one, Steven. I'm kind of caught in between. Just don't get a good vibe on it. We've hit 12,000 likes, so last game pick of the night. I am taking the Bucks on the money line. I mentioned earlier, I like the Hornets plus 18.5 if you're looking for the spread play. But the Bucks on the money line. Bucks are going to win this game. They're desperate for a win. Doc Rivers off to a horrible start as their head coach. They need this win at home. They're playing a Hornets team that is not good on the road. Hasn't been good on the road in Milwaukee in a long time. I think the Hornets could cover 18.5. I just think the Bucks are going to win. Again, that's being offered at like a minus 1,800, but I give it out there because I give out my picks for the money line all the time. We don't worry about the odds so much. We'll let you guys determine how you guys want to bet it. Joshua, I do like Pelicans on the money line. That is a favorable play. I also mentioned my SHARPZ play of the day, my favorite bet of the day, regardless of the sport, type of bet, or the odds, is Pelicans, Lakers, under 239.5. Pelicans, Lakers, under 239.5. I think the under in that game is a really strong play. Landon Wilson, great to see you back in the chat. Chiefs, Niners, who you got? Honestly, well, I wouldn't lie to you, so I'll always say it honestly. I'm taking the Niners on the money line. I think there's too many tickets being placed on the Chiefs. I think too many public. I think too much of the public is on the Chiefs. I'm taking the 49ers. I do have the Chiefs to cover plus 4.5. I also have some teasers, Chiefs plus 7.5, Chiefs plus 10, where I'm also including some player prop bets. So I'm all over the board. I feel very well situated for this game. But overall, I tend to believe that the 49ers are actually going to come out with the win. Pelicans on the money line. Yep, that's the one I like. Appreciate you guys being with us. We've been live for just about 50 minutes. We're live every single day, Monday through Friday. She loves Jason. Why are the Niners going to win? They not better. Well, first of all, they actually have been the better team throughout the season. They may not be playing the best ball, but there are actually reasons to believe that the Chiefs aren't as good as they've been made to look over the last few weeks. They played in brutally cold conditions against a team from Miami, and they dominated. Don't want to take too much away from it, but still, the Dolphins, we expected to lose that game, and they did. They then went to Buffalo in cold weather against a defense that had been, frankly, riddled with injury throughout the season, and they outplayed them. Now, a lot of people thought the Bills could have won that one. I didn't. I always thought Mahomes was, but there's a reason you can kind of discount that win. As for the game against the Baltimore Ravens, Ravens shot themselves in the foot. If not for the penalties and the turnovers, Ravens should have absolutely won that game. I understand the Chiefs punched them in the mouth and were the better team. So, again, I don't want to take anything away, but I don't think that actually I don't understand why people are kind of confused why anyone would take the 49ers. It's not that I don't think the Chiefs are a great team. They are. I'm not actually shaming the Chiefs. I don't think they deserve to be a villain. If they're a dynasty, like, that's awesome. But I think the 49ers are going to win just in part because of how I like to bet sports. I want to be on the side of the sports books. Too many people on the public right now are taking the Chiefs. Do you think it will be over 7.5 in the first quarter? Chadster, I'm sorry. I don't take quarter or half bets. I've mentioned this. There are bets that I kind of have rules about that I'll take or not take. And personally, I don't take quarter or half bets. I feel like that really is true gambling. I don't like to gamble. I like to follow data. I love to follow data and trends and analytics. Chadster, you don't need to say my bad. No issue. I'm just letting you know. That's how I try to do things. To me, it is like Wall Street. I don't want to gamble. I don't play I don't play slots. I don't play games where I don't feel like I can learn a little bit, or at least I can get an advantage on the numbers. Do I like the Kings on the money line tonight? I tend to like the Nuggets +5 more. I like the Nuggets to cover more. She loves Jason. I feel you 100. I think it's just how the Niners were listed at +3. Yep. No, right now to me, the Niners haven't played their best football yet in this postseason, which is really interesting, but they've come back, which tells me they have a level of resiliency. What would not surprise me if the Chiefs are leading halfway through the fourth quarter of this one and the 49ers just go on a drive to win it late. Brock Purdy dinking and dunking like Tom Brady in the 2001 Super Bowl against the Rams. I could see that being the case. I just think this is going to be more of a defensive battle overall. I think the running game of the Chiefs is going to be crucial. Isaiah Pacheco is the game to me. It's not about Patrick Mahomes, believe it or not. It's about Pacheco. If Pacheco has a monster game, I think the Chiefs win. But to me, that's where this game is going to be won or lost, is in the trenches. I know Mahomes is going to get the attention, but Pacheco's the player I'm focused on. Final score prediction. I'll say an awkward score. No, yeah, I'll say 26-23. 26-23. Now, right now I have it Chiefs +4.5. 49ers on the money line, the under 50.5. But if I had a score prediction, I'd go 26-23. Am I betting that? I'll throw something down on it because I just said it, just so I can have a little fun with you guys. But that's what I'll say. I'll say 49ers 26 and Chiefs 23. That's what I'm going to go with for the Super Bowl pick right now. That'll be my Super Bowl score. Chadster, you cutting close to it with the under of 50.5. That's why I bought it up a little bit, buddy. That's exactly right. I just don't think this game gets to 50. Now, here's my issue. I could see it being 27-51, 27-24, and so I do kind of want to buy it up to 52.5, but I'm waiting for some money to come down on the over to make that a bit easier. Charlie is saying 38-17. Charlie, which team you taking at 38-17? Blowout being predicted. Raptors or Rockets? If I had to go with anything, I'd go Raptors, but I'm not betting that game. I don't have a high enough confidence level on it. Let's give out another player prop bet for all those watching at home. Appreciate you guys supporting the show, watching the show. Let's give out another one for you. Next player prop bet I'm giving out is Jamal Murray over 5.5 assists. Jamal Murray over 5.5 assists is the next player prop bet we're giving out. When we hit 13,000 likes, we'll give out another one. Thank you guys so much for being with us. Elvis, I could see it going to overtime. I'd be up for it. I'd be fine with that. Happy Crudda, 100 on 31-21, Kansas City. Is that the score that was predicted in the Mecole Hardman clip? Happy Crudda, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the one that the Mentalist came up with for that score? I think that's the most popular bet right now, is 31-21 because of that clip. That's the most bet score across all of them. In fact, Vegas is like praying that score doesn't hit. Like, they would have to pay out a ton of money on that. So very interesting. Elvis 5062 says Kansas City 34, San Francisco 28. Ooh, I hope not. That would blow up my underplay. Feel free to throw your score predictions in the chat. Would love to hear what you guys are thinking. It's great to have you guys with us every single day. I hope you love watching Butt Fumble Sports. If you do, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, no matter where you're watching. YouTube, Twitch, Kick, or of course on TikTok. We're live every day. So wonderful having you guys with us. NFL guy, what's good? Hope you're having a great day. IP Shade 45, great to see you here. It's wonderful to have so many of the familiar handles in the chat. Great to have you guys come together, talk some sports with us. Yes, it is a little upsetting to come to the end of the football season. Yeah, I talked earlier about baseball season getting started. We have the tournament right around the corner. Basketball is going to have a great playoffs. The NHL is going to be a lot of fun. We're certainly excited about what's to come, but I will admit it's so great to see so many of those who have watched us throughout the NFL season. I know there are some of you guys who literally have watched us every day or almost every other day for the past 4 or 5 months. I am so excited about baseball season, IP Shade 45, and I'm so grateful for the loyalty you show us. You guys show up for our football season, and I am so grateful that you guys do so. I hope you guys stay with us as we exit the football season, have a little off-season fun with these other sports. Blitz, great to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. We could not be better. We love talking sports with you guys every day. Makes our world. NFL guy, I always hop on. Great to see it. Really appreciate you, NFL guy. Thanks so much. LGP Elite, a loyal viewer. Who's your sleeper to have a big day to toss a prop on? For today's action, I like Tobias Harris. I really like Jaylen Brown as well. Tobias Harris and Jaylen Brown are two players that come to mind. I could see Domantas Sabonis having a big day. I could see Tyrese Halliburton having a big day as well. So I would say this is a player prop bet I have as well. Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey. Sorry, forgive me. Tyrese Maxey over 5.5 assists. I think Tyrese Maxey could have a big day. I think Domantas Sabonis could have a big day. I think Jaylen Brown could have a big day. And I think Tobias Harris could as well. Those are a few of the names that I think could have big games. Mark Gonzalez, MMA. Thank you so much. We so appreciate the kind words. We appreciate you being a great moderator as well. NFL guy, I like Sabonis more than Fox today, unfortunately. I don't think Fox is going to get a lot of points. He could get assists. I don't love him on points, though. Blitz, I thought he was going to, even though people said Lamar. Did you think Steve? No, I thought the MVP race was wrapped up pretty solid. There were only, let's think, the only things that really shocked me last night. First of all, the biggest shock of the night to me was Damar Hamlin not winning that award, Comeback Player of the Year. I put that out on my social media accounts. It was interesting who agreed with me and who thought I was wrong and who thought Joe Flacco deserved it. I thought it was an obvious Damar Hamlin award to win, but okay, interesting to know where people come down on it. The other thing that really shocked me last night, how did Antonio Gates not make the Hall of Fame? How did on the first ballot Antonio Gates not make it? Statistically, he is the greatest tight end of all time, statistically as a receiver. Now, do I think he's the greatest tight end of all time? No. I say Rob Gronkowski because combining pass catching with blocking, I think Gronk is the best tight end we've ever seen. I think Travis Kelce is the best receiving tight end we've ever seen. Purely receiving, not blocking. But Antonio Gates' numbers, he has more receiving touchdowns than any tight end. He has more receiving yards than any tight end. His career was phenomenal. How did Antonio Gates get shut out of the first ballot Hall of Fame class? I'm shocked by that. I thought actually that was the biggest surprise of the night. Maybe even more than Damar Hamlin. Like, I thought Damar Hamlin was going to win Comeback Player of the Year. But I thought Antonio Gates was like a lock of all locks to be a Hall of Fame pick. Kind of interesting that they delayed him. Surprised me, to say the least. IP Shade 45. With next year's first ballot eligible, Gates may not make it next year. That's what concerns me. I just saw that as well. By the way, I want to do a quick poll. I'm really interested by this. We're going to do a quick poll, everybody. Smiley face, he's in the Hall of Fame. Crying face, I wouldn't put him in the Hall of Fame. Eli Manning. Eli Manning, quick poll. Smiley face in the Hall of Fame. Crying face, not in the Hall of Fame. Should Eli Manning go into the Hall of Fame? Quick poll for all you guys watching. Will you vote Eli Manning in? Smiley face yes, crying face no. I want to see what you sports fans at home have to say about this one. So we're doing a quick poll. Should Eli Manning be voted into the Hall of Fame? Smiley face for yes, crying face for no. Very quickly, the yeses have it. Out to an early lead at least. 7-0. Smiley face yes, crying face no. Should Eli Manning be in the Hall of Fame? Do you think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? Won 2 Super Bowls, obviously. Doesn't have great stats, actually. Wasn't actually in the playoffs that often. Smiley face yes, crying face no. Should Eli Manning be in the Hall of Fame? Not will he, should he? Should he be a Hall of Famer? Smiley face yes, crying face no. Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame, yes or no? The votes come down as yes. I'm on the fence on this one. I know he probably will, because 2 Super Bowls and the media loves him, and that's what this is about. It's a media-based award. It's a committee, so I don't think he deserves it, personally. There are a lot of multiple-time Super Bowl winners who aren't in the Hall of Fame. Will Julian Edelman be in the Hall of Fame? Probably not. He won multiple Super Bowls. I don't think Eli Manning was that great a quarterback. He was great in very crucial moments, but he wasn't great over the course of his career. So he has the peaks, but he doesn't have the sustainability. That kind of is what cancels it out for me. I don't think Eli Manning deserves to be in. Now, I personally would create like a separate wing, a different museum for like the playoffs, like literally the Hall of Fame of the playoffs. Julian Edelman would be in there. Eli Manning would be in there. Shoot, you could put Joe Flacco in there. He's been great in the playoffs. But that said, I don't think Eli Manning deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He isn't one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I'm calling it like it is. I mean, maybe this is why people were thinking Russell Wilson was going to be a borderline Hall of Famer for much of his career, because Russell Wilson wins 1 more Super Bowl. He's almost in. John, so great to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Wonderful to see a familiar face there in the comment section. So why should Peyton and not Eli? Because Peyton's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Like, anyone who doesn't think Peyton, frankly, I feel like Peyton is being hurt by Patrick Mahomes being so successful, because now there's another quarterback that's leapfrogged him. But anyone who saw Peyton Manning play, Peyton Manning is maybe the most intelligent quarterback to ever play the position. If you ever saw him, that dude was the smartest player. He dominated. I don't think people remember. Peyton Manning dominated there for a while. Tom Brady won the Super Bowl, but in regular seasons, you couldn't beat the Colts. Like, you couldn't beat them. They went 14-2 year after year after year. They were so good. The team that the team that almost beat them every year were the Patriots or the Steelers, teams that went to Super Bowls. The Colts were amazing. Peyton Manning was brilliant. Did he have the arm talent of some of the other quarterbacks we've seen? No. But let's not put Peyton and Eli in the same category. I know they won the same number of Super Bowls. Peyton is a different caliber of quarterback. Let's not confuse things. Okay, take Eli out of those giant Super Bowls. Do they win? I say no. But I don't know if that's I don't know that's how we categorize that. If I take Tom Brady off the Super Bowls, do the Patriots win? If I take Patrick Mahomes off, do they win? I don't know if that's the barometer for that. I don't know. Because you could also have Super Bowls where you didn't need a quarterback. Tom Brady, in the second Super Bowl against the Rams, the last one he won with the Patriots, Super Bowl number 6 for him and the Pats, you didn't need Tom Brady that game. He made one great throw to Gronk down the field. Other than that, he didn't play that well. So I don't know how we can categorize it that way. Okay, user 1009, let's get back to those picks. We are going to wrap up the show in just about a minute. So let's recap all of the picks that we've given out over the course of the show. Hi, Tokyo. So great to see you. Hope you're having a great day. Here's a recap of all the picks we've given out. Do me a favor. I'm going to read these picks to say thank you for it. Tap that screen as many times as you can. Let's see how high we can get the like total as I give out all of these picks right now, okay? Let's recap the picks I give out. You'll tap the screen. Let's go right now. Our SHARPZ play of the day, our favorite bet of the day, regardless of the sport or type of bet, our SHARPZ play of the day is Pelicans, Lakers, under 239.5. That's our favorite bet of the day. Pelicans, Lakers, under 239.5. Our NBA picks of the day are Pelicans on the money line, Nuggets plus 5.5, Wizards Celtics under 242.5, Celtics on the money line, Hornets plus 18.5, Hawks on the money line, and the Bucks on the money line. Keep tapping that screen as we now go through our NBA player prop bets. They are Brandon Ingram over 19.5 points, LeBron James under 27.5 points, Brook Lopez over 11.5 points, CJ McCollum over 3.5 rebounds, Jaylen Brown over 19.5 rebounds, Saddiq Bey over 5.5 rebounds, Domantas Sabonis over 16.5 points, Brandon Miller under 8.5 rebounds plus assists, Tobias Harris over Tobias Harris over 19.5 points, Jamal Murray over 5.5 assists, and Tyrese Maxey over 5.5 assists. Keep tapping that screen. Let's see if we can hit 15,000 as I give you my NHL bets. We have 3 NHL picks for you. We are taking for today's games the Penguins on the money line, the Blackhawks plus 1.5, and the Oilers on the money line. And just a reminder, in case any of you guys have missed the Super Bowl bets that I made, here are the picks I made. Chiefs plus 4.5, 49ers on the money line, Chiefs 49ers under 50.5, and I was asked about a score pick. I haven't bet it yet, but if I had a score prediction right now, I would say 49ers 26, Kansas City Chiefs 23. Those were my picks for the day, and those are my Super Bowl predictions for the moment. We will be back live at 12 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, everybody. 12 p.m. Eastern. If you guys haven't, if you didn't catch any of the bets I just gave out, do not worry. I give out all of my picks for free. Just DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports, the name of my company, Butt Fumble Sports. DM me on Instagram. One more time, Butt Fumble Sports. DM me on Instagram. I'll give you a link and a referral code for the SHARPZ app. It always reveals my picks. You never have to pay. They're never behind a paywall. They're never hidden. You don't have to do anything other than look for them on the SHARPZ app. DM me on Instagram, and I will hook you up so you can go check out all the bets that we gave out over the course of the show and the bets that I have that I didn't give out during the show. It was so wonderful being able to talk sports with you over the last hour. I hope you guys got a lot out of the show, whether good information or a lot of entertainment. Make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe, and make sure you are with us again tomorrow. We are live at 12 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, everybody. 12 p.m. Eastern for another show. Make sure you guys follow. Make sure you subscribe. I cannot wait to see you guys at 12 p.m. tomorrow. Until then, have a great night. Enjoy your sports entertainment tonight. Hopefully we cash a lot of tickets. Stay healthy. Stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Goodbye, everybody.